We've also got a Cliff Bar Kitty Kilo right in the middle of the program today, so we are excited to host some young riders out here at the track. Our first group up to the rail will be our women competitors tonight. They are coming up for their first race in the Omnium, which is a scratch race. All three categories will be riding a scratch race to start. Our first riders to the rail, the women, getting set to go. All right, so the first race here will be a scratch race. A race we like to do pretty much almost every week. It's a favorite around here because you know what? It's fun to go fast when you want to, and there's no other rules to get in the way in the scratch race. You get to set the pace you want to go to try to win this thing. They are in the neutral on this very first lap. So they're going to get started out of turn 4 if they're all together. So that'll be the last turn on the velodrome. They're going to get a whistle from our starter. That'll signal to them that they are racing. This is an 8-lap event. After 7 laps have been completed, at the 1 to go mark, they will hear the sound of a bell. That'll let all of us know here that they got 1 to go. Other than that, we're going to watch how these women choose to race this thing. There's the whistle, and racing's now underway. Looks on these very first laps, it will be pretty quick to get started. We've got a combined women's field, so a lot of riders showing up today. So a good sized group, and right off the bat, we're going to try to get something rolling. So that's a good sign. 7 to go. And we're clicking off here as Judah Senkenbaugh, I believe, is the rider off the front in the black and yellow, bib number 215. Pushing the pace early. You can see the excitement from her as she's excited to be here on a Friday night. Racing in that neutral lap, she was ready to go already, so she'll take this first lap with a lot of speed and force the group to respond. Not a bad idea early in one of these races to just test the athlete's ability to respond to a move like that. Make sure, you know what, you got what it takes this evening to race. Heck yeah. Most of our riders responding quickly at 6 to go. I hear a couple of fans along the home straight here know what to do as the riders are going by, putting their hands together and encouraging the riders. They can hear you. Always a nice thing to do, as they are, of course, putting on a good show for us this evening. I like to put it through the lens of these riders. Almost all of them are basically just members of our community, but also are showing up on a weekend night here to put in some work, some effort for themselves, for their own health. And you know what? It's kind of cool to just be able to cheer on folks that you know are in your own local community. They're doing some extra work. They're sweating a little bit extra on a Friday night. 5 to go. The pace has kind of reset itself, so that early attack, the group gets themselves back together again, and you can see that they're at a neutral speed right now because they're riding wide across the track. They're not all in single file formation, so our pack right now sitting in a patient positioning. Looks like Becca Kawaka there moving underneath the group in the sprinters lane to the very front, and this kind of stretches things out as her pace is a little bit quicker. Sprinters lane, that area between the red and the black, the short lane around this thing. Let's see where riders want to go fast. They're going to move into that space. At 4 to go, so we've made it halfway through this thing. All the riders still in it. 8 laps, a pretty short race, and it's going to be a pretty good opportunity to see our fast finishers show off their stuff. And there's not going to be a whole lot of time between the start of this race and when they're sprinting, and everybody's still all together here. Our next field should be getting set to go as the Cat 1-2 men are having a scratch race up next. Those riders should be getting set to go. Cat 1-2 men are on deck for their scratch race up next. At 3 to go, looking at a little bit of separation here is Zeta is going to try to roll away. Bib 108 sees a bit of an opportunity here to take a chance and see what happens with it. Still early in the night. If you want to come and join us over in the beverage garden, we've got Mac and Jack's Brewery, OS Winery, and of course Locust Ciders, our great partners here in the Pacific Northwest that have been helping us with our beverage garden the last few years. You can also come on over. Jessica's Unique Bites is serving up some food tonight. They've got the grill out of the food truck here, serving delicious burgers and fries with a great spicy twist. Come on over and put in your order, and tonight they'll help you out with your dinner needs. 2 to go, 2 to go. Still Zeta off the front. She's going to start to abandon the chase. When she turns right, that's the signal to the rest of the field that she's kind of given up the push right now. She's going to go above the blue line, maybe reset herself, as she still has a gap here. You can see some riders starting to line things up as they know it's about to be the bell lap. They're going to be coming into the 1 to go here. Still Zeta sitting off the front. The rider in that dark blue jersey coming out of turn 4 is the leader of the race. Can she hold on at 1 to go? 1 to go. Zeta's on the solo effort. Now the field. Here's the bell, and it's time to move. 1 to go. Lisa Erickson exploding over the top of this field. She's got on bib number 118. And look at the speed of this rider as she just overtakes the lead position. She's zooming down the back straight. 3 riders in the chase. It's still Erickson leading it out and putting in a real big effort here. You see the move at the 400-meter line. She's still pushing this. No one's even getting close coming out of the turn. Turn 4, Lisa Erickson. What a move out of turn 4. She'll take this race here and get a good start for the Omnium. Looks like it'd be Annette Williams taking the 2nd overall finish in that one. And Kelly Darlene will get 3rd. Our riders, of course, will be tabulating their finishes for the Omnium throughout the night. That'll culminate in the points race at the end of the program. So you want to stick around and see how that develops. Our early leader for the women looks like it's going to be Lisa Erickson with that first victory. We'll get things started. And I know it's a new thing for some of our riders, and it's got a big track here. We'd always appreciate if our competitors can exit on the back straight on the same lap they finish. Appreciate you doing that. Our next group, come on up to the rail, is the Cat 1-2 men. We'll get you started on your scratch race. Cat 1-2 men, please, to the rail. Don't go anywhere, kiddos. We see you ready to go. The Kitty Kilo is coming up in just 2 races, and you saw how fast that one was. We've got a couple more short ones here. This is a 12-lap scratch. They've got 12 on the laps here, so a 12-lap event. Same rules as we just saw before. We'll ring a bell at 1 to go. We'll see how this thing gets underway here in a second. We'll see how these riders choose to go at their scratch race. Again, this is the first of several tonight to build up their Omnium lead and see how that results in their final race tonight with the points race to kind of wrap it up. That's going to be true of all of our fields. So here's the first race for our Cat 1-2 riders and a 12-lap scratch. It's not quite July, so I'm going to still call him Chip Chase, our rider in the black and green. For Liquid Velo, we'll make a lap 1 attack. And he's got an opening here. Riders weren't quite ready to go for it in an early position on this one. And that rider in the dark maroon, his name's Chris Baker, another rider that likes the longer distance ride. So one rider, maybe not super threatening. That's a lot of work to do. Make it 2 with Chris Baker joining in. That might be a problem for this field. So now you start to see the speed pick up. So they realize there's something going on here. At 11 to go, they've only got 1 lap down. It's a pretty short race for these competitors. They know it's going to be over fast. So if you're going to make an attack off the front, you almost have to do it right away. So that's what we see now. Chip Chase and Baker working together here. We now have a 3-rider break, as our rider from Audi in the red with that white helmet will jump up to join them. So make it 3 off the front. The pack now in the chase trying to get back up to where they're at. At 10 to go, still 3 off the front here. Get some help from the grandstands as they like to see this aggression early. It's Walker in the red for Audi. That's the rider at the front position. They're in a lead spot, but that distance will close awfully quickly if the group decides to go get it. So why not just give up if they know they're this close to the field? Well, this is still forcing the riders in this group to do some work to catch up to them. So they're forcing that response, that effort from the riders behind them. Maybe they'll give up suddenly. You never know. So you don't necessarily want to abandon too soon. You want to see what will happen here. So our 3 riders continuing to push here at 9 to go as they came across the line. Don't forget, we have more racing tomorrow. If you're enjoying what you're seeing and maybe you're a local here coming out to Merrimore Park is a regular thing for you. Well, Saturday racing is not a thing we do every week, but we've got racing tomorrow. We're doing a fundraiser for our junior team here, the Jerry Baker Junior Squad. The riders in the black with some blue on them. You can see them in almost all of our fields tonight as they've come up to show up and participate and compete. We've got a fundraiser tomorrow. It's a noon start time for racing as it's our Schools Out for Summer event. We'll be doing some barbecue. We've got the beverage garden opened up in the middle of the day because why not? It's the weekend, and you know it. Food truck showing up as well. So it'll be a good afternoon of some fun here, and all the funds and proceeds are going straight into the Jerry Baker squad to help them go to their nationals competition and support their coaching. Look at this, folks. It's still working. 7 to go. The gap is sort of open here in the last lap or two. So this is what I'm talking about. Their persistence of these 3 athletes is enough that the field is starting to show a little bit of fatigue. The distance between the field and the lead 3 is not enough so that I'm going to say that they've gotten away from them. This is a fast group of riders. They're certainly able to close down that distance, but it is at a point now where you're looking at how far they have to move, and it's a big amount of work for that field to close it down. So these guys are going to continue to push it. Walker seeing 6 to go. Kitty Kilo participants, if you can head to the end of the grandstands, we are going to start staging you. Kitty Kilo riders, if you're here, please head on over to the end of the grandstands near the yellow rope there for the beverage garden. We're going to start getting you staged at that entrance to the track now. So if you want to start heading that way, we'll get you ready to go as we got one more race after this one. This is working pretty well, folks. These 3 are really clicking along at 5 to go. I'm impressed to see that they've managed to not only get away from this field, they continue to add a little bit of time. Now you can see riders at the front of this field are having to do work. It's Mike Rogers. We'll pull up out of the way as he gets the group really rolling along, attempting to take a small dent in this time gap that these riders have gotten. And now, it's only a couple of seconds, but on the track, that can be a big difference here. It might mean the difference between the group finishing with a quick sprinter and catching up, or one of these 3 maybe getting it. 4 to go. 4 to go. The more that these 3 stay away and keep this gap where it is, the better their chances are of being the top 3 finishers tonight. It's an awfully hard way to win. They've been out here for basically the entire race. The initial attack by the rider in black and green, Dave Chipchase. He was immediately matched by Chris Baker. Had to do a big amount of work to get up to him. And Walker identified this was a good move and also got up there. They're now at 3 to go and about 100-some meters between them and the chasing field. Can the field catch at 3 to go? Will they catch in the sprint? That's the other question here is it worth the effort to go up and catch them early? Why not just wait until the moment the sprint's going on and see if we can catch them while we're in the middle of that effort? Our leader is just now coming out of turn 4. We'll be seeing 2 to go. Here we go, folks. 2 to go. Come on now. 2 to go. 2 to go. Ah, man, this gap's getting better. They're just getting into turn 1 as the field's just exiting turn 4. So it's improved over the last couple of laps. 2 to go. 2 to go for the field. 2 to go. Coming down to that critical moment, is there enough speed and finishing kick in this field? It looks like that gap has opened up enough that it may not be possible. They're going to have to do a whole lot of climbing right now on this flat track to see if they can make it back up to the leaders. Bells ringing, one to go, one to go. It looks like our lead three have definitely made it up and away from this field. So now the sprint is going to be on for fourth place. Bells ringing, one to go, one to go. So we have two things going on the track. On the back straight, Chris Baker is leading out in the dark maroon colored jersey in a sprint for first. Out of the field, we've got Andrew Pryhuber in the black and green trying to lead it out right now. Looking back at the leaders, it's going to be Chip Chase for Liquid Velo getting the first victory tonight. Chris Baker will get second. Looks like Walker for third, and out of the field, Liquid Velo sprint forward. Here comes Carlberg trying to come in on it. It looks like Liquid Velo on the inside will get it. Oh, our top five getting settled there as those first two out of the field getting fourth and fifth place, respectively. They have lots more racing going on tonight. That is just their first of four this evening. Fast finish. Our riders will try to make it off. Pretty busy there, so we'll give them some time to get off the track here. It looks like we got one more finisher as well, and then we'll bring up our next group. Our next group up to the track now. Cat 3 participants, please, to the rail. One more scratch race to see tonight. We've got a 10-lap event for the Cat 3 riders that are now on the track. They're in the neutral. One more call for the Kitty Kilo participants. If you're hanging out and ready to do your race, we'd love to see you over at the end of the grandstands for staging. We'll get you set for your race. We're going to figure out which group you're going to put you out on the track for. So Kitty Kilo participants, please, for staging at the end of the grandstands over here on the home straight. Thank you. Race is underway. Lap show 10 to go. And our field just now getting their first lap going here. 10 to go in the scratch race. Nine to go as they come across the line. Our field's still all together. One thing to look out for tonight, in case you don't know who to cheer on in each of our groups, you can always keep your eye open for the leader's jersey. The rider just now coming to the front, Ben Rackness, is currently wearing it. That's that neon color jersey that we have. It stands out amongst the background of the rest of the field. He's also adorning that bright orange helmet. What does that mean? That's the rider who's been doing the best over the season in this particular group of riders. So our Cat 3 field, seeing 8 to go. If you're not sure who to look out for, that's certainly a rider to keep your eye on, especially in a shorter race like this and somebody who likes a sprint finish. We've seen him do well in those type of events. That'll be Z-Dog for Fell Swoop in the black He's got some orange color in there as well. That's the fell swoop team that's leading them down the back straight now and trying to move things along, make these laps a little harder. 7 to go. Snoblin on the front. He's got the black kit with that orange frame underneath him. That's Peter Snoblin. That'll pull up to the right. Six to go. Good move here at the front of the field now, starting to stretch things out. Most of the field knows that this is an important thing to recover on and try to really quickly bring back in, so the work's done almost immediately. And our field continues to stay in contact here at 5 to go. 5 to go. We do this pretty regular here at the Velodrome. If you're enjoying your time, we hope you might make time in your calendar to come see us again. If you want to know more about racing here at the Velodrome, whether you want to try it out yourself or you just want to know more about what's going on behind the scenes, well, a conversation is always a good place to start. You can always come up and say hi and ask some questions. But if maybe you'd rather do that in the comfort of your home or on your mobile device, you can go check out our website at velodrome.org. Browse what's there, including our calendar and all of the background information, the documents that support what's going on here, our race book, schedule fees, all that fun stuff. The Merrymore Velodrome Association has been proudly working to support and operate this facility since 1975, now under the new name of the Jerry Baker Memorial Velodrome. You can see everything about our facility and all the stuff we're doing here, again, at our website, velodrome.org. Our field mostly together throughout this entire race. One big attack a couple laps ago. Now a bit of respite as the group kind of bunches themselves up and set to go. On deck is the Kitty Kilo. Our fun ride for the youngsters is coming up in just a bit. As it now says 3 to go. A sprinter's finish if I've seen one. A couple of attacks off the front. The big one from Z-Dog earlier. Otherwise, it's a short race without too much spent to have to work to bring riders back in. We're expecting a fast and furious finish from the riders here. Sitting up a little bit before the exciting conclusion. That'll be Snoblin in that black kit now moving down in the sprinter's lane. He'll try to get things rolling here ahead of the finish. Maybe position himself in a good spot ahead of the rest of the field. The long effort here from Snoblin, 2 to go. He's trying to estimate the responses of the field as he looks over his left shoulder. Z-Dog does the same thing. He's trying to see who responded to this attack. Are they with me or are they not? Snoblin now, he's starting to really push these pedals. Z-Dog Pearson will fall off the pace as it's now just Snoblin on his own. Riders responding. Coming into the bell lap, it's still Snoblin leading it. And it looks like Hazer's trying to get into the mix here. Our rider for the junior team. 1 to go. Kaiser the Laser has been setting up for this one. He's in a good position, but so are the riders right behind him. And down the back straight, it looks like the leader's jersey is going to start to move into the lead position. Here comes another junior. Looks like it'll be our rider Ben Rackness off the front. A bit of a challenge from Center Cycles. The leader's jersey coming out of the turn at the front is still getting a good sprint out of it. Darlene trying to challenge. It'll be Rackness and Darlene. Hyun Lee will find his way to the front of the field as well. He'll find third in that. The rider for Pi Broadmark in the black and yellow. The leader's jersey should take it. Darlene second. Those will be our early leaders in the Omnium tonight as they will exit on the back straight and get set for some more racing here soon. All right, so for our registered athletes, a good time to take a bit of rest as we all are anticipating and excited to see our youngest riders, the future of cyclists here in the Pacific Northwest, are going to be taking the track. I shouldn't say the future. The future's now. They're already on bikes, and they're doing it well. So we're going to bring them on out for their fun race on the track. The Cliff Bar Kitty Kilo. So for our first race tonight, our riders are going to be getting a whole lot of applause. That's a reward for signing up as they come by on a short little sprint down the home straight. Once they get past the finish line, they're going to turn left into the grass and be all finished. So again, our first race here, we're going to take them down the home straight. Time to take out your cameras. You can get a good position along the finish here and get ready to snap a photo of your kid riding down our track for a fast little race. They're going to come across the finish line, take a left-hand turn, and be all done. Itai is going to wave them over as they come across that line. Oh, yeah, we want to make sure it's all fair here. There's a lot on the line for these kids, let me tell you. And they're getting their final instructions from our starting group, and there they go. The race is on. The push bikes are going. One is hesitating. He's just setting up for the big finish. Whoa, look at that technique. He's cruising. Look at him go. They're the easiest group to cheer for. Nicely done. Nice work. Looks like 285 is taking a bonus corner there. Nice work. Uh-oh. These look like real bikes. We got a clockwise competitor. Man, he was just ready to go right out of the chute there. Might need to wait to make sure we don't have a collision. So our next group up here, it looks like they're going to be taking a lap around the track. So we're going to keep them inside of that area down below the track, underneath that big blue line that goes around. All right, looks like we're almost set to go. One lap around the track. Once they come across the finish line, and after this, they'll be directed back into the grass where we'll see them and cheer them on for their exciting finish. Here we go. They're off. Look at the kids move. My favorite part is the colorful helmets. It's much more, I don't know, artistic in this field than we see for the rest of the night. Everybody doing okay? They got a little bump there coming into the first turn. Man, look at the moves on this one. He's already in the middle of turn 3 and 4. The speedster. Here comes our first finisher. Look at the speed on this one. Love the tie-dye, too. Whoa. We got an excited group tonight. I think they're as excited as I am to be done with school. Nice job. Right on past the finish line and then into the grass. Keep on going. Nice work. And all done. Come on into the grass. Well done. Nice work. Almost there, all the way in. There we go. Got a few more to help out, folks. Here we go. The green helmet's coming in, zooming fast. Smiles and all. Nice work. Gotta look out for each other. They're coming in fast. The push bike and the training wheels are joining in on this one. Here we go. Nice job. Oh, nice finish. Good racing, everybody. I think we got another crew to bring up. So we're going to bring out the dangerously big bikes here. Oh, man. This should be the rest of our riders, I imagine, all together here. 2 times, 1 time? What's our plan? All right. Very good. This field just got legit. Look at all these riders. Looks like we're going to do a 1-lap race. They're about ready to get started. Keep it on the safe part of the track underneath the blue line, guys. And off we go. 1 to go. 1 to go. Showing some out of the saddle technique on the back straight. Look at this. Forget green, blue means go. The kid's on fire here, coming through turns 3 and 4. Pushing those big gears. Look at that effort. Nice job. Nice racing. Whoa, with the hop too. Showing some bike skills. Oh yeah. Nice job tonight. We're gonna call all of our Kitty Kilo participants up and out of the inner part of the track now. If you could please exit the way you came in. We got some goodies in the bowl for you from our friends at Cliff Bar. Our thanks to Cliff Bar for sponsoring our Kitty Kilos here in 2019. Be sure to grab one of their treats on the way out, and thanks for joining us for the Kitty Kilos tonight. So not such a big deal during our Kitty Kilo event. Just as a reminder, though, as we're about ready to start our real racing here in just a moment, we're going to bring up our next field for some exciting racing for our ongoing competition tonight in the International Omni. We'd ask that our spectators and all be careful not to be on any part of the racing surface tonight, as that could be a danger to you and or our participants. So again, no crossing underneath the railing or hanging over any limbs or any of that sort. We appreciate your help with that compliance. It keeps you and our riders safe tonight. Next up for the International Omnium, our 3 categories will be racing in an international tempo. Our top 5 in the Omnium so far, our top 5 from the first race, of course. With 11 points in the Omnium is Margot McBurney. In 4th place with 12 is Judah Senkenbaugh. In 3rd with 13 is Kelly Darlene. In 2nd with 14 points is Annette Williams. And our leader right now with 15 is Lisa Erickson. Those are our top 5. They're getting called up in order right now so that the riders are also aware of their order in the Omnium. So they're now the neutral, our women competitors for the international tempo. It's going to be going by pretty fast here. It's an 8-lap event. 2 are in the neutral, so to speak, as there's a pre-points lap race that goes on. At some point, you'll hear that bell pretty early on in the race. In this case, it's going to be after 2 laps are completed, signaling to the riders that we're going to start giving out 1 point to the lead rider every lap, and it's only 1 point. So at best, a rider could get 6 points. In other words, this is a pretty condensed format. There's not a lot of time to build up points. There may be several ties. And in the case of a short race like this, the last lap is going to be very important, as any ties in the points are going to be broken by their finishing positions on the final sprint. So I'll try to keep you updated the points as we go. I'll announce what I think the riders are at. Points not on the next lap. We're still rolling around here waiting for the sound of the bell to let our competitors know that there will be a point on the next lap. Seven to go. Bell next time around, signaling the beginning of points. On deck, Cat 1-2s are getting set to go for their international tempo. They will be seeing 6 to go next time we see them, and the bell will be ringing, signaling it's time to start counting up the points. Our field altogether. They're actually riding above the blue line there. That's kind of signaling that they're waiting to get started. Bell's ringing. Next time, 1 point to the leader. 1 point to the leader next time. We're going to keep adding up those points. Every single lap they come around, there's going to be 1 point given. Again, the best possible scenario is a rider could maybe get 6 points if they win every lap. Not likely tonight, I'd imagine. Our early leader, Lisa Erickson, the rider in the black with some blue there. She's got that sort of red-rimmed wheels you can see at the front of the field. She is leading the sprint out, trying to get the early lap point here. Erickson on the move. At 5 to go, we'll get the first point. Judah Seckenbaugh, the rider in the front position now, trying to get her first point. The rider in black and yellow making an aggressive move to find one for herself, and she will be in a tie for the lead with Lisa. The tempo pays to be active every single lap. It's impossible to win every sprint back-to-back. You need some moment to recover. But riders are going to continue to push the pace at the front. Maybe take a lap off, try it again. That's exactly what Erickson's going to try to do. She's got the leader's jersey right behind her. Annette Williams of Center Cycles without any points yet, the leader's jersey. Trying to stay in the middle of it, though, being the thick of the action. She'll accelerate here to find her first and be in a three-way tie for the lead with Williams, Erickson, and Seckenbaugh sharing that position, one apiece. So the leader's jersey, the rider now kind of falling a little bit back in the position with the neon jersey has one. The rider at the front of the field has one, and the rider right behind the lead position has one. Those are our three riders with one apiece. Everyone else looking for their first points. That looks like it'll be Kelly Darlene for the junior team. Been sitting in the field, hasn't taken a chance yet. Not surprisingly, we're going to have a lot of riders with 1 point. Again, the last lap is going to be really important here. At 2 to go, Darlene's going to go. Could she get 2 in a row here? Look at the speed of the youngster. Getting some encouragement from the infield as Center Cycles looks on and sees this move. If she can get 2 in a row, she's going to guarantee a really good finish for her. Lisa Erickson trying to keep pace with her. She's got several bike lengths between her and the leader right now, trying to get back up to her. She's got only a lap to try to catch her. It's 1 to go. 1 to go. Darlene with the 1 point lead. She's at 2. 1 to go. 1 to go. So if any rider with 1 point catches Darlene and beats her in the final sprint, they will be the winner. If Darlene gets another point, she's the winner. It looks like Erickson's on pace here. Now, between Erickson and Seckenbaugh, the riders that are catching on to our leader, whoever wins the sprint wins the race, as they both have 1 point. So here comes Seckenbaugh, the rider in the black and yellow. She wants to get a win tonight. Erickson winning the first race. Seckenbaugh wants to get one for herself. She's digging deep here for a nice finish. The rider in the black and yellow. Seckenbaugh, Erickson, and Darlene will go 1, 2, 3 in the finish. That'll also, I believe, be there. It'll actually be Darlene getting second place in that one, with Erickson getting third. So that'll change up the Omniums. We'll continue to update those points, and we'll get those recalculated before their next event. Cat 1-2s to the rail, please. Cat 1-2s to the rail. Cat 1-2s to the rail, please. Don't forget, before you take off tonight, Just 'Cause You Need Bites is here serving some burgers and fries. Maybe you hadn't planned for dinner tonight. Well, you can take some food to go. Fantastic fries out of the food truck here behind the grandstands. We appreciate you joining us for the Kitty Kilo, and we hope you'll be able to come back and check it out. Maybe even sign up for one of our junior classes someday. Our Cat 1-2s now at the rail. On deck will be Cat 3 competitors for their international tempo. Our top 5 right now, Chip Chase is in the lead. The rider for Liquid Velo with 15. Chris Baker's in second with 14. Brett Walker is in third with 13. John Bowie is in fourth with 12. And Andrew Karlberg in fifth with 11. Those are our top 5 right now. My mistake on not bringing those guys up to the rail in order. We have our field now going in the neutral. Once again, there will be 2 laps without a point awarded to the lead rider. The bell will ring, signaling that we'll begin giving the lead rider a point every time around the track. Our next group up, again, the Cat 3 competitors getting ready for their international tempo. And the race is underway, although not points yet. Baker doesn't mind that too much. Corner 4 racing will go ahead and go. He knows there's not points on this lap, but if he gets away from the field like he did in the first race, then he's going to get all the points. So why not take a try? Single malt velo, the rider in the blue and pink kit there is going to match tempo. That's Mike Rogers. That says, I would like to do this as well. Let's go for a ride. So the two of them will now break away from the field, and they do so quickly. We're going to hear a bell next time, then we can start earning some points for these 2 riders. Again, it's going to be Baker and Rogers that make the move. Vern Cole for Liquid Velo sitting at the front of the field, and all these riders are starting to calculate what's going to happen here over the next couple laps. Hearing the bell, that means next time 1 rider gets a point. Single malt velos, Mike Rogers at the front now exchanges with Chris Baker for corner 4 racing. Bells ringing to remind our riders it's 1 point to lead the lap. Next time around, 1 point to lead the lap. Adam Angert there, the rider in the black with the dark blue, is the rider to accelerate the field, bib 39. He's trying to get riders a little bit excited to go catch the leaders. Chris Baker looking over his left shoulder and trying to keep some good tabs on the chasing field. He wants to know where they're at. He'll get the early lead. So now these 2 riders would probably want to set up a bit of a partnership here. They're going to be trying to exchange points, I'd imagine, rather than working against each other. Their idea is if I take this lap, then you take the next. We're going to keep getting points, and we're not sprinting against each other. This is to our combined benefit. At some point, they're going to have to settle the score. So they're going to do something we don't always see. They're going to take 400-meter poles here. So go all the way around the track and then exchange after they pick up the point. So a very cooperative move here from these 2. Both benefiting, of course, as every point they get in this relatively short race is going to really help add up to their finishing position. Baker and Rogers, the 2 riders out the front, have a tie of the lead with 1 point apiece. The field's starting to shrink the lead a little bit. They've closed the gap down just maybe by a second or 2. Still Baker and Rogers off the front. Baker will now find himself as the lone leader with 2. Rogers with 1 in second. It's Brandon Russell of Fount Cycling in the dark green is the rider doing some work on that lap to try to bring riders a little closer. So in the field, riders are taking shorter poles. That allows them to do more effort before they can fall back into the field and get the help of the draft. The lead rider's having to do a little bit more work here. Less rest, more work. That's what it takes when you do these breakaways. At 6 to go, they find themselves in a tie with 2 apiece, and the pack is starting to close down this distance even quicker. Bib number 1 of Kenny Williams now at the front, the rider in blue, is looking like he's ready to close this thing down. Maybe he can do it now. Doing some work here. Not doing it with the whole field, though. He's got a bit of a gap himself, so a little bit of a chasing move as Rogers falls off the pace. Baker still off the front. Baker trying to find 1 more before he loses the position here. At 5 to go, Baker will find it. He's the lone leader with 3. The rider in dark red, number 8. Mike Rogers, our rider for single malt velo, finds himself in the field, sitting in second with 2. So the leader of the race is finding himself in the middle of this pack that's now getting torn apart a little bit. With 4 to go, Bowie for Liquid Velo now finds himself off the front, number 32. He's another rider in the top 5 in the Omnium, so he's trying to hold on to that position. Chris Baker, the rider with 3, and the leader of the race with 3 points. Mike Rogers in second with 2. John Bowie in third with 1. Our race leader, Chris Baker, is second in the Omnium right now, so he's continuing to try to hold on to that position as he works his way towards that points race tonight. He is further back in the field as Bowie is the rider off the front and trying to add to this lead. At 3 to go, he's now got 2. Sitting in a tie for second, the rider in black and green. For the Liquid Velo team, continuing to add to his points total. If he can do that one more time, he'll be in a tie for the lead of the race. And he looks like he's in a good spot to do it. A little bit more effort here through turns 3 and 4, and he should be able to guarantee at least one more point. And again, he'll move into a share of the lead with Chris Baker. Only 2 laps remain. Lots of riders without points. Bowie's got another. He's in the tie for the lead at 3 points. There's our other race leader, bib number 8, doing the work to try to bring this back up. He knows it's about to be the bell lap, so he does not want to let Bowie get away too easily. John recognizes what's going on here. He pulls up to the right. That looks like Corner 4's racing Bill Booth to me, trying to maybe get his first points. He's not alone, though. He got sniffed out as the field was starting to move around and reposition. They saw this coming. Bell's ringing. Booth's moving. 1 to go. 1 to go. 1 to go. Bill Booth will find his first point of the race. The last lap will break some ties. We've got a tie for the lead still between Chris Baker and John Bowie. Down the back straight, it looks like it'll be Brandon Russell, the dark green, Kenny Williams in the blue, trying to find a point. Whichever finds a point. This is a big difference between finishing positions. Kenny Williams coming over the right-hand side. Brandon Russell in the sprinter's lane. Kenny Williams looks like he'll be able to find it. Williams will put himself into a top 5 with that finish. The winner of the race will be Baker, I believe, as Baker comes across the line ahead of Bowie, and they both had 3 points. So our rider for Corner 4 should find himself as the new leader in the Omnium after that one. Our riders will exit on the back straight on this lap as they are all finished up. As our riders exit, we are going to get ready to call our next group up in order of the Omnium. All right, we'll now call our Category 3 competitors to the rail in order of the Omnium, starting with the first place and working our way down. First up with 15 points, Ben Brackness. In second with 14 is Michael Darlene. Third to the line shall be with 13, Hyun Lee. In fourth with 12 is Jason Corbridge. Next up in fifth with 11, Chris Wilson. After that with 10, Aiden McClinton. 9 points, Henry Kaiser. 9 points also to Peter Snoblin. 8 points, Adam Leopold. 7 points for Z-Dog Peterson. And 7 to Don Wells. And this will be the last of the tempo races. Our Cat 3 competitors going for a 10-lap event. You heard their order just a moment ago. The leader's jersey for this field is also the leader in the Omnium right now. So the rider in the bright neon jersey leads the competition so far. If you're just joining us here, maybe you're out in the park and checking out what's going on. This is Friday Night Racing at the Jerry Baker Memorial Velodrome, a weekly event we do here as long as the rain is holding off during the summer months. We're here starting at 7 p.m. We do these great racing programs. They're varied. We change them up every week. We bring out our great local competitors to do some cool stuff in front of you, celebrate our community of athletes that come out here on a weekly basis. and have a great time out in the summer fun. In the summer sun, I should say. We'll be here again next week doing some more racing. And in fact, we've got one tomorrow. We've got our school's out for summer event. That is tomorrow at noon. That's right, racing on a Saturday. We've got a barbecue we'll be having out here where you can pick up your hot dog and burgers. The beverage garden will be open for the middle of the day because you know what? It's a weekend, why not? And all the proceeds from tomorrow's racing will go into our junior program. Our young riders are competing in all sorts of events, not just here at the Velodrome, but as an example, we got nationals. Riders going to be going down to Southern California to compete in that event again this year. So we've got a lot of things to help raise some money for. If you'd like to come join us tomorrow, that's at noon here at the Velodrome for the Schools Out for Summer event. We'd love to see you there. No points on these laps, so the early laps are just kind of the setup, the prequel to the real action. Sometimes riders will go for it on those laps like we saw in the last race where Chris Baker on the very first lap, as he got the whistle, got it going because he knew if he could get away from the field, he would get some points out of it. That actually ended up being the way to win it for him. So that was a good move by our rider for corner 4. This group all together as the bell's ringing. Next time, the first point will be awarded. I told you to keep your eyes on that neon jersey earlier tonight. This race is going to be a little bit different for him as this is going to be an effort that our riders have to continue to output every single lap. They got to find their windows and their opportunities to go. Either go off the front, get a couple of laps in a row, or sprint and recover over and over again. And it looks like the leader's jersey will take this lap and gets the early lead. 7 to go, and he's got the only point in the field. Yeah, noticing actually a question on the feed. We got a couple minutes ago, so it's good to remind everybody again, if you finish with any ties in the amount of points that you've earned during one of these races, the last lap is how they're broken. So if I've got 2 points and someone behind me has 2 points, I place better than that person behind me because I finished ahead of them on the last lap. That's how we break those ties. Ben Rackness continuing to earn points. He's now sitting with, I believe, 3 at 5 to go. So he's our lone leader with all the points going to him. Our youngster with that orange helmet leading out this field right now. He still has quite a bit of distance between him and the chasing group. Make it 4 for Rackness. Everyone else still in the chase is Leopold, the rider in the pink jersey, starting to get a bit closer. If he gets one more point, he's actually mathematically uncatchable. So he could try to get one more sprint here and then fall back into the field if he wanted to, or maybe continue this effort because why not? We'll see what happens here. The youngster's still going for it. Oh, Rackness trying to get his 5th. Looks like he'll be able to find it. 3 to go. Chris Wilson in the dark green is the first rider to catch. So it's a big effort from the young rider. Again, I don't think he can be beat by the math now. So there's only 3 laps remaining and only 1 point per. So at best, someone could get 3 points. That'll be good for second place now. So what does he have to do to win it? He just has to stay on the lap of the leaders. He knows he's got more racing to go. So our leader's going to sit up and do a little bit less work for a few laps here. Sprint front of the point, seeing 2 to go. Corbridge at the front will find it. Our rider for Liquid Velo gets 1, and he moves into second place after only 1 point. Since everyone else is still looking for some. That's going to be Michael Darlene of Center Cycles now at the front, also with no points yet, trying to get his first. He'll be getting it as the bell's ringing if he keeps on pace. Women's field is coming up here shortly. Darlene gets the bell. 1 to go. 1 to go. 1 to go. Henry Kaiser trying to chase down. It's Peter Snowland as well, the two riders nearest the lead rider. Our leader just now coming out of turn 2 on the back straight. 1 to go for the Cat 3 riders. 1 to go. If Darlene picks up this 1 point, which he looks like he can do, he will find himself in second. Rackness finishing with the 5 points will be our winner. And Corbridge should be in third after getting the 1 point. Here's Darlene coming out of the turn and picking up 1 more point. Good for second in the race for Center Cycles. Kaiser breaking some ties here. He'll be the first rider with no points in the race that crosses the line. So he will place, I believe, 4th for his sprint there. Our riders will exit on the back straight as they're all finishing up on this lap. And we're just getting set now. Here in a sec, I'll call up our women competitors in order of the Omnium, starting with our first place rider and working our way down the list. Calling to the rail, our women competitors. In first place with 28 points is Lisa Erickson. In second with 27 is Kelly Darlene. In a tie for second place, also with 27, is Judah Seckenbaugh. In fourth with 26 is Annette Williams. And in fifth with 20 is Margot McBurney. After that, I have 19 points for Amara Edwards, 18 for Kira Lewis, 17 for Becca Kawaoka, 16 for Christine Diebler, 15 for Diane Zeta, 14 for Bryn Ward, 13 Linda Moule, 12 Emily Alexander. Now this race is a bit different than what we've been doing so far tonight. We're going to see an even entirely different race format in this International Omnium. This is called the elimination. The last rider in the group will get removed from the field. They'll exit if they are the last wheel to cross the line. We're going to be watching here at the finish line for their back wheel. That rider will get called out to exit. We'll continue to work our way down until we've only got 3 left. There'll be a bell ringing as those 3 come across the line. 1 more will get eliminated. That's at 1 to go. Then there's only 2 on the track in that 1 to go moment. They're racing for first and second. So this is basically what we call eliminate down to 1. We're going to continue to work our way down until there's nobody left. Good combination of speed and tactics here on this one, as it's going to be a pretty quick race. You have to time your efforts just right. You just need to speed up just enough to not be the last rider. That bell's to remind him next time we are pulling a rider. Next lap, we are pulling a rider. Finishing positions in this continues to add to the International Omnium. So if you're in the top 5, you're going to get a whole lot of points to build towards that Omnium. What does that mean? Their next race for all of these categories after the eliminations are done will be the points race, which is where we add a lot of points on some certain laps. They're going to have a good start if they have a lot in the Omnium. They're going to be a lot closer to winning that race than riders that didn't have as good of success earlier in these events. Last rider across the line. 213, 213. That's going to be Christine Diebler. So again, doing well early means that you start off with that, however many points you have in the Omnium. That's what you start in with the last race, the points race. So if I come into that with 34 points, I just continue to add to that in the points race. So that's how we make this thing kind of all add up together and make and build up for an exciting finish on the Omnium Nights. That's going to be 217, Becca Kawaoka. Becca. It can be hard to stay in the field when you're down in the sprinter's lane, as Becca did on that lap, just because there's nowhere to go. Generally speaking, you'll watch the riders that are closer to the rail are going to be more mobile. They're going to be the ones that are going to be swinging around and finding and repositioning. If you're down in the sprinters lane closer to the inside of the track, you're going to be right behind the lead rider, and they ain't moving. They're just keeping their pace really solid. So if you want to have mobility and the option to change your position, oftentimes you have to go to the right. And she already knows it. Zeta raising her hand saying, yep, that's me. Ten riders in the field. Again, we basically eliminate down to the last rider. When we see 3 left, they'll hear a bell, so we get all reminded that that's the one to go moment. Again, looking for our last rider. Nice acceleration here from Liquid Velo to stay in. It'll be on the inside is Linda Moole. Linda Moole, 2:02. Again, that sprinter's lane, you feel comfortable and confident. You don't have to do all the work to reposition yourself, but it's where you have the least amount of tactical options. You can see riders will oftentimes elect to get right at the front of that wedge and will do work off the front because they know that they don't have to sprint anybody if they can just be the one setting the pace. So everybody right now is happy to be in behind Lisa Erickson, who's leading the group around. (116) Emily Alexander, 116. Still working our way down here, trying to see who can survive these early laps. Our field's already half the size it started. Center Cycle's gonna have to accelerate here. Oh. 1:15 is Kira Lewis for Center Cycles. The inside will survive that one. Kira Lewis caught there. 7 riders left. Now you can see here, as the field gets smaller, the riders that have been kind of hiding in a spot are having to work a little bit more to reposition themselves. So with only 7 in there, there's not a lot of places to hide. They're going to continue to use more of that track space and continue to flatten this thing out more and more. Bryn Ward repositioning herself really well here. Looks like she'll be able to hold on another lap. Annette Williams doing a little bit of work here at the leader's jersey, trying to hold on. 2:12 is Margot McBurney. McBurney caught there right in the middle of things. Again, our leader's jersey doing just enough work to hold on. She had a calculated move over the right side. She'll stick in there. Another lap. 6 remain. Getting hard now. Every lap is more challenging. Still going to be our Omnium leader, Lisa Erickson, that finds herself at the front of this thing. Once again, might be the sprinter's lane. Out of luck here. 104. Edwards caught in that one. 5 remain. Five in the group. 2 more laps until we hear a bell. Working our way down to this one. So these are our top 5 now. They've already gotten some good points out of this. In fact, the leader's jersey already looks like she might be feeling it here. Four remain. Annette Williams there. 107 caught that time. 4 riders left. Erickson, the rider at the front with those red and white rimmed wheels, is the leader in the Omnium right now. 3 riders behind her are only 1 point away. Kelly Darlene, Judah Seckenbaugh. Those 2 riders are still in this race right now, as it looks like it's going to be Bryn Ward kind of sneaking off the back here. Our rider for Single Malt Velo caught is Bryn Ward. We'll exit, and we've got 3 left. Again, this is the top of the Omnium. They've survived to the end of the race, so they're performing when they need to try to keep the competition close. The leader in the Omnium is Lisa Erickson, the rider in the sprinter's lane right now, in the black jersey with the white helmet. Both Darlene and Seckenbaugh are tied with 27 points apiece, so they're trying to get advantage for that last points race now. Here they come. Who's going to survive here? Bell's ringing. Seckenbaugh's out of the saddle. Kelly Darlene. Whoa! 215 as second ball is caught. Darlene is in. Second ball. The bell rang, so it's 1 to go. And now Erickson and Darlene. Kelly just barely getting there in time over second ball. Second ball in third place. Darlene's got a big amount of work to do. It's just one bike length separating her as second ball exited, but that's some work for her to do. Look at this. She's coming up on her. Can she come over the top? Oh, Erickson with a nice drive, though. It's so strong. You should be here the whole race. She says, no way. Lisa Erickson just says, I'm going to be at the front and win it just like that. Impressive finish. The junior will get into second place in that one and should move into second in the Omnium. Cat 3 competitors, I'll begin to call you up here in just a moment. All right, calling up our Cat 1-2s here in order of the Omnium. Currently in first with 29 points, Chris Baker. In second with 26 points is John Bowie. In third with 22 points is Kenny Williams. In fourth with 22, a tie for third with 22 also is Brett Walker. And also in a tie for third with 22 points is David Chipchase. With 19 points, up next is Brandon Russell. And also with 19, Bill Booth. With 17 points is Mike Rogers. With 14, Andrew Kahlberg. With 14, Pekka Jaska. And 14 to Brennan Hodgins. Adam Engert with 13 points, as well as Taylor Crane, 13 points. James Shimada with 12. Andrew Pryhuber also with 12. Vern Cole with 8. With 6 points, David Matthews, and Eric Johnson with 4.
Ready for launch.
Limiting down to 1. You're going to get a bell as you come around after the neutral. You can see this neutral is more competitive than most because riders want to position themselves before the eliminations start, so they're going to want to get to the place they want to be. Not everyone wants to lead it out, but hey, you know what? Chip Chase is going to do just that. Our rider moving to the front on the neutral lap. Looks like riders are going to slot themselves in behind him. On deck will be the Cat 3 competitors for their elimination. And there's the whistle. Bell's ringing. Next time we start eliminating. Next time we will pull a rider. So again, pretty fast first laps here. There's a lot of pressure to be in the right spot here at the right time. You've got that tempo being set right now by Dave Chipchase for Liquid Velo. Everybody else sliding into the position they need to be in. The big move around the right-hand side along the rail. Trying to find room to position themselves to stay in one more lap. 10, that would be Shimada. Number 10. Very close over the top there as riders maneuver just ahead of our corner 4 racer. 1-5, Dave Matthews, number 15. Matthews, 15. We had 18 starters, so that gets you a sense how many laps the race is. We got to eliminate basically all the riders. 2 pulled so far. We're going to continue to work our way down here. Big move here around the high part of the track, trying to get around and position themselves. As our current Omnium leader will be just fine. 5-6 is Bill Booth, 56. 56, Bill Booth. And our leader in the Omnium right now, Chris Baker, coming into the race with 29 points. He's actually at the back of the field, but riding in a position where he can continue to sprint a little bit every lap. He's got the neon shoes on. Number 2 is Carlberg. Carlberg. You can see there as they're coming across the line, a little bit of a difficult chance to maneuver as Chris Baker, riding right along his right side, doesn't leave a lot of room to move and gets just enough to nip one more rider at the line and keep himself in as he's going to continue to try to build his lead in tonight's Omnium. Taylor Crane leading out the lap right now. (2-0) Yaska. Pekka Yaska. Still working out some riders here, trying to limit ourselves down to 1. Mike Rogers, single malt velo, number 22. $12 riders still in this field. Another rider for corner 4, accelerating over the top, watching from his teammate. And it'll work as he'll get Adam Angert at the line, number 39, Angert. That's Hodgins making a move there. Again, taking some notes from his teammate. Yeah, I can use this little sprint here, a little kick up to the line to keep people in a tough spot. Pryhuber for Liquid Velo finds himself in the front. He's got a lot of teammates in tonight's race. Number 13, that's Eric Johnson. Number 13, Eric Johnson. If you want to give racing a try, we do have classes and courses here you can take to start racing. You can sign up for all of our classes online at velodrome.org. All you need to do is pay the registration. We have track bikes that you can use. Bring a helmet and your athletic shoes. We'll get you set up to learn how to race on a weekend. And you can join our athletes here at the track for a weekly night of racing. Number 8 is Chris Baker. The Omnium leader caught Chris Baker. 9 riders have made it to this point, so half of them are gone. Vern Cole is at the front. Kenny Williams right behind him. Andy Pryhuber. The 4th rider in that lineup is Dave Chipchase, the early rider that led the lap. A lot of Liquid Velo competitors in this group. John Bowie, the rider, Bowie, in second place in the Omnium with 26 points, is still in the field. 36 is Brennan Hodgins. Brennan Hodgins. So again, our leader in the Omnium got caught the previous lap. Our rider in second place, John Bowie, still in the mix with 26 points. So is Kenny Williams, the rider in third in the Omnium. So these guys are going to be adding to those totals, giving them a nice advantage coming into the points race as they can continue to get closer to that point. Moving around the outside again. Looks like Found Cycling has found a good position to hold on. 32, there's our second placer in the Omnium, as John Bowie caught on that one. Bowie out that lap. 7 riders in our field. Taylor Crane at the front again. Williams and Cole flanking her right behind. With Chip Chase, as well as Pryhuber still in the group. So is Brett Walker in the red. Found Cycling's got Brandon Russell in the mix too, so we'll see who can survive a few more laps to get into the top 5. Vern Cole is number 25. Vern Cole. Six riders in this field. Again, when we see 3, the bell will ring, signaling it's 1 to go. Williams for Center Cycle starting to take over the lead position a little bit here, as it'll be Walker sprinting. Russell doing some work here. And that lap is Taylor Crane. She already knows it. Taylor Crane. She's still got some local fans. Five in the group. Williams at the front for this field. Chip Chase right behind him. Pryhuber still in the mix with that white helmet. Russell trying to calculate how much work he has to do. Brett Walker's trying to make it hard on him. That's going to be number 3 is Brett Walker. If he had another second, he might have got there in time, but Russell just recognizing it soon enough will keep himself in the race. So the rider in the dark green survives another lap. We're into that top 5 positioning now, so this is good points for the Omnium. Walker will exit having gotten 5th. 4 riders remain. It's still Williams leading it out. The bib number 1 with the blue and the white helmet. He's waiting and watching. He doesn't want to do more than he has to so late in the race. Russell having to do a big sprint here. Brandon Russell for Found Cycling caught that time. Now it looks like it's going to get pretty interesting as Williams has been sitting in on this one, leading it out for a couple laps, doing all this work. Pryhuber's now dancing on the pedals, dancing left and right. Chip Chase getting into the middle of the 3 of them now. We're about to hear a bell, eliminate another rider. So now Pryhuber's going to have to do a bit of a roll up here to see if he can come over the right-hand side. Chip Chase down in that sprinter's lane. And the 2 of them looking like they're doing some work here at one to go. Pryhuber's out, and Chip Chase is going, I don't know, man. Kenny's waiting. I don't think he's going to get it. What I mean is a sprint. Here he comes. It'll be Kenny Williams doing all the work on the last couple laps and making it hard to survive. He'll take it in the elimination. Chip Chase will pick up the 2nd place finish. It's not July yet. I thought that was the rule. Chip Chazé, my man. He likes it fancy. All right, we have made it to the final block of races. We got the points racing now, where we are going to give our riders a call up in the order they've got. The number of points that they are starting with will be added to their totals throughout the course of the race. Oh, I'm getting ahead of myself again. Sorry, Cat 3, you're not racing. Just kidding. Cat 3's in order of the Omnium. Our leader right now with 30 points in the Cat 3s is Ben Rackness. In second in the Omnium currently with 28 points is Michael Darlene. In third with 25 points is Jason Corbridge. In fourth, in a tie with 21 points is Hyun Lee. And also with 21 points is Henry Kaiser. With 20 points, Peter Snoblin. Also with 20 points, Aiden McClinton. Also with 20, Chris Wilson. 17 points, Adam Leopold. 14 points is Z-Dog Peterson, and also 14 points, Don Wells. And our Cat 3s are underway with an elimination. Next time around, they will hear a bell if they get the start, and we'll start eliminating the last rider. And the whistle is blown, and the bell's ringing. Time for some eliminations. 11 riders came to the line, so this will go by a little bit quicker than the last race. Fewer riders to work through in the elimination in this group. The leader in the Omnium is still the rider with the leader's jersey, Ben Rackness, for the Jerry Baker Juniors team. Darlene for Center Cycles is in second with 28, and Jason Corbridge is in third in the overall standings for Liquid Velo with 25. So that's our standings right now in the Omnium, and a lot of those riders do find themselves right at the front again. Fell Swoop giving us a nice wave. Z-Dog will exit, but not without first giving us a little bit of exit flair. Ten riders in the group. Stick around, folks. We still have one more exciting race for each of our categories. The beverage garden's open tonight. We've also got Jessica's Unique Bites serving all night long. You want to hang out with us here at the park. No reason to head home early. Don Wells is called 333. It's coming up threes. Nine riders in the group. That looks to be Corbridge leading the field with our Omni leader right behind him. That's 302. Leopold shaking his head. I think he knew it. Who's going to find their space here? 301 is Hyun Lee. Pyatt Broadmark, Hyun Lee. Couple riders in blue making the move over the right-hand side at the last second, making it close. Our officials had to confer. 7 in the group now. Still Corbridge driving the pace, doing a lot of work at the front. Rackness and McClinton find themselves right there too. Oh, 316 is Peter Snoblin. That middle spot's being rough. Snoblin, as both Kaiser and Darlene do the work needed once again to come over the top. Those last-minute efforts. Very effective in this race. .308 is Darlene. Mike Darlene caught that lap. Kaiser with a nice acceleration will hold on. Got to use those junior gearings to do something. Good zoom right there. So 5 riders remain. The leader's jersey is basically leading it out right now. Found Cycling starting to shake his head a little bit. Chris Wilson knowing it as he's coming to the line. He says, yeah, I think my time is up. 5th place for him. There's still 4 riders in the field. Corbridge at the front. Rackness in second wheel. McClinton, 3rd spot, the white and red. And then also for Jerry Baker Juniors is Henry Kaiser, the 4th rider in the group. Rackness will go ahead and accelerate a little bit early, do more work than he needs to just to guarantee another lap in the field and maybe make the rest of the group do a little more work here. Corbridge has been here for an awfully long time, and he will have his number called finally. 328 will find himself in 4th place. McClinton in the white and red at the front. Coming into the bell lap here, we're about to get down to our top 3 positions. McClinton still at the front. He's got on his wheel 2 juniors. Rackness in the orange with the leader's jersey, and Kaiser, his teammate, in the blue helmet. Leader's jersey's going. Bell's ringing. McClinton looks like his time might be up. It'll be McClinton. The 2 juniors head-to-head. McClinton calling the lap. It's now a bit of a quick match sprint format here as Rackness will ride up towards the rail and Kaiser will match his tempo perfectly. And the local boys going at it head-to-head. The elders got a bit of an advantage here, though, as Rackness is going to try to roll around the younger competitor. But what a great race for our young riders here. The Jerry Baker Juniors represent. Rackness will take this one, and Kaiser will find 2nd place in the elimination. Okay, I was just so excited for this next thing. Points races. We got one more set of races for everybody tonight. Jumped the gun a little bit earlier. Our first group up to do that will be the women. Once again, I am going to call them in order of their points. Important for me to read this to you so you can know what their points are to start the race. As they're going through the neutral, I'll explain how the points race works. First up, with 43 points in the lead of the Omnium, is Lisa Erickson. Currently in second with 41, Kelly Darlene. In third with 40, Judah Seckenbaugh. In fourth with 37, Annette Williams. In fifth with 29, Amara Edwards, in a tie with Margot McBurney, also with 29 points. Kira Lewis has 27. Bryn Ward with 26. Becca Kawaoka with 23. Diane Zeta with 22. Christine Diebler, 21. Emily Alexander, 20. Linda Moole, 20. The points race format is there are sprints on certain laps where riders will earn points based on their finishing positions at the front of the field. Those point laps go 5, 3, 2, and 1 to the first 4 across the line. So first rider 5 points, second rider 3, third rider 2, and fourth rider will get 1. We're going to add those points because tonight's International Omnium. We're going to add those points to the amounts they came in with already. So if I'm Lisa Erickson and I have 43 points, I'm already at the lead of the field before the first sprints even happen. And that's from the success in the previous 3 races. In this one, we've got a 4x5. That's 4 sprints every 5 laps for a total of 20 laps. So they have 4 chances to sprint and add more points on to their totals. At the end of it all, the winner of the Omni will be the rider with the most number of points. The last lap will be worth double, 10, 6, 4, and 2. I'll keep track from up here and try to announce what I believe everybody's points totals are throughout the race. Great opportunity in these longer races to stake out your spot over in the beverage garden. Enjoy a nice evening with us here. Support racing by putting a little bit more money in our pockets because every bit of proceeds in the beverage garden goes right back into supporting racing here at the track. We got some expenses we got to do, like, I don't know, maintenance. We got our officials to pay. We've got a lot of people behind the scenes doing some great work and making sure this place is running and operating the way it needs to. So your support goes a long way. So in a 4x5, the points will be given out every 5 laps. The first bell will be rung at 16 to go. Our field working together right now, waiting for the sound of the bell, or at least getting a little bit closer to it. Our leader in the Omnium and the leader in this race is bib 118, currently with 43. In second place is Kelly Darlene. She's in the middle of that field for Jerry Baker Jr.'s team with 41. And third is Judah Secondbaugh, the rider in black and yellow, almost at the front of the field right now. So the early leaders, again, already established from their work earlier. And as we're talking about Secondbaugh, as she sees the front, she sees daylight, she says, good chance to go. The bell's not ringing yet, but she says, why not go ahead and get a good position here ahead of the bell at 18 to go. Secondbaugh leading the lap. Edwards trying to match pace. Will be a little bit of a break here. Not much between them and the field, who are immediately trying to get back up to where they're at, with Secondbaugh and Edwards still off the front down the back straight. Kawaoka doing some work, the rider in that blue and orange, almost getting back up to our leaders. Seeing 17 on the cards. Next lap is a bell lap. About to see who's going to use this race to try to change around this order of points. Our first sprint underway. Points next time as Erickson has been waiting for a chance to slide towards the front. She'll do just that. Secondbaugh and Darlene now make out the leading group. Annette Williams has also positioned herself here along with Kira Lewis. So our front five, only 4 of them will find points. Anyone behind those 5 are going to be out of it on this sprint. Erickson still leading the lap. She was able to do this in the elimination. Why not? Just drag race the field all the way around the track, except we got some fresh legs behind her. Do they have enough? I think it'll be still Erickson over Darlene. Then Secondbaugh will find 2. 1 point to Williams. So our current order in the Omnium is the way they come across the line. So the order does not change yet. Lisa Erickson builds on her lead. 5 more to 43, making it 48. Kelly Darlene adds 3 more to 41. She's now at 44. Judith Secondbaugh with 2 more is sitting at 42 points. And Annette Williams adds 1 more to make her totals 38. Those points totals are unofficial. Next bell, 11 to go. Don't forget to mark your calendars for July 19th and 20th. The Vision Grand Prix, the fastest race in the Pacific Northwest. We've got riders coming in from all over our region, from our country, and even crossing international borders to join us here in Redmond for the fastest racing we can possibly host. Huge cash prizes, equal payout for our women and our men competitors. We got our fastest racing and the most exciting race formats we can put out on the track all weekend long. July 19th and 20th. We start with a normal 7 p.m. start time like you would see on any other Friday night. We can carry on into Saturday morning with a 10 a.m. start, and then one more evening session on Saturday. Our evening sessions will both have beverage garden, food trucks, and of course, some incredible racing action on display. If you're enjoying yourself tonight, we hope you can make it back here for our biggest event of the year, Vision Grand Prix on July 19th and 20th. Athletes pre-registration is now open. Head to the website and head to the drop down for our Racer Central, head to special events and find the Vision Grand Prix. You'll get all your information there, including how to pre-register for racing. 12 to go. 12 to go. Christine Diebler, the rider in the black and green, has positioned herself at the front here in a hope to beat the rest of this field to the line, as the bell will be ringing soon. This is a bit of an early bid in hopes that the position will give her the advantage she needs. Kawoka is right on her wheel. Looks like Zeta also decided to go at this moment. Bell's ringing. More points next lap. More points. 5, 3, 2, and 1. Kawoka at the lead. The rider in the blue and orange is taking our group through on this one. But Erickson has been saving up here and just maneuvers gracefully through the group. Comfortably finding herself at the front of a nice, powerful move here by the rider. Lisa Erickson is on pace to try to find 5 more. Zeta's challenging, but it looks like she's on pace for 3. It looks like, yes, Erickson 5, Zeta 3. 2 more for Kira Lewis and 1 for Seckenbaugh. My unofficial points totals put Lisa Erickson in the lead in the competition with 53 points now. 3 more points for Kelly Darlene means she's got 44, and 3 more points for Judah Seckenbaugh means she's got 43. So the race for second now is only 1 point apart. It's Darlene with 44 and Seckenbaugh with 43. Annette Williams has 38 points after adding 1 to her total. After that, I've got a 3-way tie at 29 points apiece is Edwards, McBurney, and Lewis. Diane Zeta can now count her points at 25 after adding 3. Seckenbaugh, the rider off the front here. Again, go before the bell. Try to get in a position where you can get some points by being away from the sprint. So Seckenbaugh and now Erickson at 8 to go are getting away from the rest of the field. McBurney doing some work for Liquid Velo to try to keep the 2 leaders close to him. The rider who's thinking about where Seckenbaugh is Kelly Darlene. The rider in second right now is only 1 point ahead of Seckenbaugh, the rider in black and yellow. So our rider for the Jerry Baker Juniors team is keeping an eye on where she's at because she knows that their points are the closest in this field. Seeing 7, Seckenbaugh and Erickson. 7 to go. Bell next time for these 2 ladies off the front with Bryn Ward now in the chase, doing work for this field. Edwards will take over the duties of trying to bring in the leaders. Points do go 4 deep, but you really get a big payout if you jump from second to first place in the sprint. So they're going to try to get up there as Edwards is getting awfully close to bringing this group in. Seckenbaugh at the lead. Erickson right with her still. Edwards closing the gap, but points next time. Points next time. So the points race already a race within a race. When you add in the International Omnium and all the points we brought into the race, there's a lot of dynamics within here. The race for first has been Erickson's all night long. She's not that far ahead. It could still change, especially if these riders can keep her out of the points. That's going to be awfully hard to do. She's right now, she's the second rider in this front field. Edwards leading it out. Now Erickson will jump a little bit up to speed. So Erickson and Edwards coming out of the corner in the sprinter's lane. Erickson for 5, Edwards 3, Darlene 2, and I think it's going to be Emily Alexander for 1.
Inventions and innovation. And now it's available for everyone.
Kelly Darlene will hold on to her second place after she picks up some points in that sprint. She has 46 points now. Our leader, having picked up 15 more in this event, is now sitting at 58. So again, our leader at 58, our second place rider Darlene with 46. Judah Seckenbaugh in third. She's got 43. Annette Williams has 38. Edwards now sitting alone in 5th place, I believe, with a total of 32. Might now be good for 4th, I think we have a DNF on that one. Three to go. Emily Alexander, the rider with the yellow bike underneath her, is the lead of the race by just a couple of bikes. She's going down the back straight right now and about to go into turn 3. That group of 6 right behind her is the pack, and they are real close to catching her. Coming into 2 to go. The last sprint still worth double in the points race. Our leader is still Lisa Erickson, as she's been throughout the night. 2 to go. 2 to go. A little bit of hesitation as they're getting ready for this final lap of the race. It'll be Erickson that's going to go on the back straight. Kelly Darlene, the rider in second overall, is also sitting right behind her, so in the second place position. Trying to go for it big at 1 to go. Erickson's going hard. Darlene right on her wheel, so second ball trying to catch back up. It's 1 to go. 1 to go. Oh, here we go. It's still Erickson leading out. Darlene would like to win one of these sprints tonight. It won't be enough to take over the Omnium finishing positions, but it's still about the pride and the speed here. Look at this. The junior's got another one in her, so looking like she's going to come out of this turn at the front. Darlene will take the last sprint. 10 more points for her. Well on her way for second place in the overall finish. 6 more for Erickson to win it. Second ball will get 4 more in that sprint and should be in third. And I believe Edwards still should hold on for fourth. As always, my points totals are unofficial, though usually within the ballpark. We'll present those numbers on the infield here as soon as they're ready. Nice racing tonight for our women competitors. Next up, I will call our Cat 1-2 competitors to the rail in the order of the points they have in the Omnium, starting at the top and working our way down the list. In first with 37 points, Kenny Williams. In second with 36, Dave Chipchase, as well as Chris Baker with 36 points. If you are not going to race in the last race, please come check in with our officials so we know you're not starting. We would like to have our not starters. Thank you. In fourth place with 35 points is John Bowie. In fifth place with 33 is Brett Walker. With 31 points, Brandon Russell. 25 points, Andrew Pryhuber. With 23 points, Taylor Crane. 22 points, Mike Rogers, Brennan Hodgins, and Bill Booth. 19 points, Pekka Yaska and Adam Engert. 18 points, Andrew Kahlberg. 17 points, Vern Cole. 14 points, James Shimada. 11 points, Eric Johnson. And 9 points, David Matthews. Again, if you plan not to start the race, now we've called you up. If you are not starting, please check in with our officials crew. Thank you very much. All right, our last race of the night for this group, points racing, 6x5. That's 6 sprints. They'll be separated by 5 laps for a total of 30. Who's in the lead? Well, the guy with number 1 on his jersey, Kenny Williams for Center Cycles with 37, but he's got riders right behind him. He can't sit on his laurels. Dave Chipchase for Liquid Velo with 36. Chris Baker with 36. They are tied for second and only 1 point off the lead. John Bowie is real close as well. He's got 35, riding for Liquid Velo. And Brett Walker for Audi at 33. Those are our top 5. 33 points for 5th right now, and in first is 37. So this point split is not that big. Our riders are going to have to keep doing some work tonight throughout the rest of this race to ensure they can stay in those positions. Currently in the neutral on their 30-lap points race. Our last race of the night is up next, and that will be our Cat 3 riders for their points race of 5x5. It's coming up after this one. And there's the whistle. We are getting this thing underway Points will be coming out after a bell. The first of those bells at 26 to go. Pretty good sized field tonight for our Category 1-2 competitors, and when you have a lot of riders in the field, that means there's a lot of riders to do the work and keep things quick. So not surprising to see the first lap here at a pretty good clip. It's been a long night. They've already had 3 races. Though they have been shorter in distance, they've gotten over quickly. That's still a lot of work being done by the riders tonight. So our big conclusion here, we're going to see a little bit of a mixture of the fatigue of the night as well as the excitement of the build-up here for the finish to what is a fun program. .28 to go. Angert riding at the front there, but not wanting to take the sprinter's lane as he's hoping others might want to do a little bit more work at this stage in the game. We've called his name several times tonight as he's been off the front. Earlier tonight in some of our races is Chris Baker. We saw him do this on the scratch race, try to get away from the field. We saw him do it again in the tempo. Now he's going to try to do it a little bit more in the points race. Not getting away from the field just yet. 27 to go. You can see some of the riders eyeing the moves there, seeing Chris move. They all kind of respond. They're keeping their marks on him. They know what he's up to. A lot of familiarity when these riders get up to these categories. They've been racing for a while. They've got the experience. They've got the years of doing this, the speed and the endurance and all that training they put into it over the years. So they get to know each other out here at the track. So there's not a lot of surprising each other. Getting the bell for points. Bill Booth at the front for corner 4. Taking us around on the lap. They're all stretched out single file formation, trying to find a spot to be in the fast pace that Bill Booth sets as he comes across the line. Now riders starting to bunch. That means somebody's going to sprint. And a big move coming around through turns 3 and 4. And the acceleration coming out of turn 4. We got a rider coming down in the sprinter's lane. Look out for bib number 1. Kenny Williams found his spot. The short lane was open. You'll take it. 5 points for Williams and 3 riders across. I have no idea. I think it might have been Russell on the inside for 3. That call's unofficial. Maybe followed by Carlberg. I'll wait for the confirmation. Four riders starting to push the pace here off the front at 24 to go. Brandon Russell in the dark green gets out of the way, and their slight break is getting a little bit bigger here as a couple riders are going to commit to trying to get up there quickly. .23 to go. So the order in the last one, it will go Bowie, Russell, and then Carlberg in that last sprint. So Williams adds to his total, picking up 5 more. He's still in the lead. Now sitting at 42 points. Bowie jumps over a couple riders to move into second. He should be sitting at 38 points now. Chip Chase and Baker still sitting at 36. Brett Walker still at 33, and now in a tie with Brandon Russell, who also has 33 points. The only other rider affected by the first sprint was Carlberg, now with 19. Bells ringing for our second sprint. 2 riders for corner 4 racing. At the front is Shimada, number 10, and Chris Baker, number 8. Shimada doing some work to bring the field up to speed. He'll pull up to the right now, let Baker take the lead position. Brandon Russell in the dark green is right there behind him. So is Bowie getting ready to launch an attack. Kenny Williams, our leader, is fourth in that group. Look out for his ability to finish fast. They're going to spread out across the track a little bit here coming into turn 4. It'll be Bowie for 5, Williams 3, Russell 2, and Chris Baker will get the 1. Williams now adding 8 points in the points race, brings his total up to 45, still in the lead of the Omnium. Bowie moving up strongly into a commanding second place position now, has 43 points. Second place to Bowie with 43. After that I have Chris Baker with 37, Chip Chase with 36, Russell with 35, and Walker with 33. $17 to go. Single malt velo, the pink and blue, leading it out there. Couple riders in different places on the track are behind the lead position right now, as the lead on the track is the main pack of riders. They're the front of the race. Everybody else is going down a lap, getting caught by their speed. Bell's ringing for another sprint. 16 to go. And Booth is gritting some teeth trying to get this thing going again. Corner one's not shy about showing their support as they're coming by. Still Bill Booth at the front. That's going to change real fast here as the group behind him is ready to go. Coming out of the turn, it'll be Williams leading it. Russell's trying to chase in on him. Williams, Russell. I think it was Karlberg and then Baker. So Williams will find 5 more in that sprint. Brandon Russell does find the 3. Karlberg will pick up 2 more. We'll give the 1 point the way of Chris Baker. Should put Williams unofficially at 50 points and still our leader. Bowie is still sitting in second, I believe, with 43 points. After that, I got Chris Baker with 38. In a tie with Brandon Russell, also with 38 points. We have another bell at 11 to go. There'll be a sprint there. We got a sprint at 6 to go, and then we got the double one to end it all. So plenty more points to go out. Williams continuing to add to his lead, though. Bib number 1. Put on a good clinic this evening. So despite all of the math and all the numbers, there's basically been 5 riders getting points in this race. So most riders' points totals have been unchanged since the start of this one. It's been Williams, Bowie, and Russell picking up the most points so far in the event. Carlberg and Baker also finding some value in the points race itself. Again, in the lead, Williams with 50. Second place is Bowie with 43. Bells ringing. Pekka Jaska in the dark black kit there is going to launch a big move. He's been saving up for this one. Trying to get away from the field. Some nice acceleration for him across the line. An aggressive attack. Getting away from some of the riders. Trying to hold on for 5. Looks like he should be able to do it. Yeah, Pekka Jaska looking over his shoulder, trying to see if he will indeed get it. He's on his way to get it. 3 for Carlberg, 2 more for Williams, and 1 more for Baker. Still in the lead is Kenny Williams. I have his unofficial totals at 52 points. In second place is John Bowie with 43. In third, Chris Baker with 39. In fourth with 38 is Brandon Russell. After that, 36 points to Chip Chazé. Walker's got 33. And everybody else's points totals should be the same until I get down to Pekka Jaska, who now has 24 points, as does Andrew Carlberg. Two sprints remain. They just saw 8 to go. We're going to get a bell in a few more laps. Seven to go. Vern Cole driving the pace. Everyone's happy to sit in behind his work right now. This has been a long evening for the competitors tonight. Again, their 4th race, and this one is a long one. Next time around, the bell's ringing for their penultimate sprint. Vern will finally abandon the work here, pulling up to the right. Never mind, he's going to keep going. No one else is there. Why not? Bell's ringing for more points. 6 to go. Our race leader is once again positioned really well in the field as he's 4th in that lineup, but look out for the red. Brett Walker wants points now. Boom! Right out of the middle of this field. He'll take the lead position away. May not be able to hold on to it, though. Look at Bowie's counter move here. Liquid Velo's got one ready to go. Oh, Russell coming in the line, too. It'll be Bowie, Russell, Walker, and Williams. In the lead of the race is still Kenny Williams. He's got 53 points. It's getting a little bit closer, though, as John Bowie now has 48 in second. In third place is now Brandon Russell with 41. In fifth place, I've got for 39 points is Chris Baker. After that, it's 35 for Brett Walker. 36 for Chip Chazé, then 35 for Walker. Last lap will be worth double, and it's coming up here pretty quick as Andrew Prybeer has got himself a little bit off the front here for Liquid Velo in the black and green. He's Just trying to sneak away, maybe pick up some big points here. He's near the top of the Omnium. If he could get a lot of points here, it might help him stay there. Two to go. They're letting Pryhuber roll here. So he's getting some nice value on this last sprint as long as he keeps going for it. Chip Chazé at the front, bib number 6. Waiting to see what will happen, and it looks like it'll be Pekka Jaska to make the next move. Our rider with the black and that white helmet. He's causing a bit of a reaction, though. They saw what he did a few sprints ago with his explosive finish. Pryhuber on pace for 10 and getting the 1 to go. 1 to go in the International Omnium. 1 to go. 1 to go. 1 to go. Pryhuber doing a nice move here. It will not put him into the top 5 of the Omnium, but it will put him in a good spot on this sprint and give him 10 more points. Will hold on to his position in the overall standings. The sprint's coming on down behind him. Kenny Williams trying to ensure he wins this thing. John Bowie's trying to make it close. Williams, Bowie. It'll be Bowie over Williams in this sprint, but not in the race. Russell will find 2 more in that one as well, but it will be Kenny Williams, our winner of the Omnium overall unofficially. Bowie should hold on for second with a few more points in that sprint. And our riders will exit on the back straight as the race is over.
Let's get to work.
Getting set to do our final event of the night. About ready to call, again, our Cat 3 competitors for their last event tonight. All right, looks like we're ready to start calling some riders up to the rail. In order from the top of the list, I work our way down. In first currently with 45 points, Ben Rackness. In second with 38 is Mike Darlene. In third with 37 is Jason Corbridge. In fourth with 35 points is Henry Kaiser. In fifth with 33 is Aiden McClinton. After that is 31 points for Chris Wilson. Hyun Lee with 30. Peter Snoblin with 29. Adam Leopold, 25. Zidao Peterson with 21. Don Wells with 21. Well, did you check in, Don? Did you tell them? I think Don Wells is telling you he's not starting.
Well, if you're wondering what's happened, took off and went wild. So what we're going to do is start over from the top.
Our last race of the night will be a 5x5, 25 laps of points racing. The leader's jersey in the lead of the Omnium tonight, Ben Rackness. As we mentioned before, he's got a fairly comfortable point lead to start the race. The next rider behind him is trailing by 7 is Mike Darlene for Center Cycles, bib number 308. And after that in third, just 1 point behind Darlene, is Jason Corbridge, one of our riders for Liquid Velo. There's the whistle. Our first lap now getting started.
Well, if you're wondering what's happened,
Bell will be at 21 to go. More racing like this will be going on tomorrow. And one more reminder about our Schools Out for Summer event. Our fundraiser for our Jerry Baker Jr.'s team. That event starts tomorrow at noon. We're going to be rolling for at least 3 hours, we imagine. Probably even a bit longer. We've got ourselves a full sprint tournament planned, some Madison racing going on. The barbecue will be working throughout the afternoon, so you can get your hot dogs and burgers. The beverage garden will also be open. There'll be a nice little party, a get-together, some great racing, and again, most importantly, we'll be trying to raise some funds for the young riders. So we hope you can make some time to at least stop in at Marymore Park tomorrow and say hi. If you're enjoying yourself tonight and plan on coming back on another Friday night, we appreciate it. We'll be here every week at 7 o'clock as long as the weather is participating well like it is today, holding off that rain. We do this through the summer months all the way up until September for our regular season, where the riders are coming here and competing on a weekly basis to earn ongoing points. We will award who wins in each of their categories at the end of the season. The rider with the most number of points tonight is wearing those leaders jerseys that you see, the neon colored jerseys in the field. So signaling who's been doing the best so far. Every night we total it up and award the jersey to the new leader, much like a tour or a stage race would do. So far, fairly passive, and this is a fairly long race in a smaller field, so we're going to be a little bit more conservative in the way we maneuver here. 22 to go. Next time around will be a bell lap. Leopold is the one to take a gander at it here, try to move ahead of the rest of the riders, see what happens. Not a full committal until he gets down that sprinter's lane, which he will now do on the back straight. Corbridge ready to go. No bell yet, and he's moving. There's our bell. Points next time, and Corbridge trying to make it tough for anybody else to find him. Corbridge well and away from this field. I think they've kind of given up on that one. Corbridge for 5 on the first sprint. And it looks like Fount Cycling will find the 3 there. 2 for Rackness and 1 for Darlene. Our leader is still Ben Rackness. After picking up 2 more, he's got 47. In third now is Jason Corbridge. After picking up the 5, he's got 42 points. In third with 39 is Mike Darlene. In fourth place with 36 is Aiden McClinton. And in fifth is Henry Kaiser with 35 still. Chris Wilson, adding to his points totals from that first sprint, is now sitting at 34 points unofficially. My mistake. Aiden McClinton still sitting at 33 points. Anything you can do to help us out tonight is if you had some fun, we'd appreciate a follow on one of our social media platforms. We are pretty active on Twitter, where you can get updates and news about what we're doing here at the track, as well as when we are making any changes or updates to our programs. At JB Velodrome. You can find us again on Twitter and on Instagram at JB Velodrome. That's Jerry Baker Velodrome. You can also find there our tweet that we just put up this evening for our live streaming services. You can give us a follow or like on one of your preferred platforms, including YouTube now. We've got Facebook Live, and of course, we also have a Twitch channel. We're giving those all a try this season to see what people tend to gravitate to. The more likes and follows and reshares we get, the better off we are for making that a more public service and try to help our community be able to watch racing here in Redmond no matter where they are. Of course, we prefer to have them here in person, but sometimes being at home is the only way to watch, or maybe you're on the road, and we still want people to know what's going on here in Redmond. If you're looking for all information, including our calendar of events, how to sign up for our classes, more for our junior programs that we have here, and just any other general information about the track, check out our website at velodrome.org. Again, velodrome.org. 16 to go, and the bell's ringing for our second sprint. Our race leader are going to put in a big effort. This looks a lot like what we saw the last one, is one rider getting away and the rest of the field saying nope. This might be an opportunity to roll with it. We'll see what he chooses to do here. Either he keeps going or he sits up. 5 more for Rackness. 3 for Darlene, 2 for Corbridge, and 1 for Kaiser. Rackness is rolling with it, the solo effort here. So he takes the work he did before. Might as well not lose all that energy you just spent. Keep rolling and seeing what happens with this kind of move. The gap has gotten a little bit smaller over the last lap and a half or so, as now it's Aiden McClinton doing the work to try to bring him back in. In the lead is still Rackness. His points total now is 52 points. I have Jason Corbridge sitting in second with 44. In third is Mike Darlene with 42. In fourth, Henry Kaiser, 36. In fifth, 34 points is Chris Wilson. After that is Aiden McClinton with his original 33. So our race leader gets caught back by the field after a couple of laps of doing some work out in front of him. And this before the bell's ringing, so no points again for that effort. He did get that 5 points in the last sprint. Now he's going to have to fight again for the next one against the rest of this field. Peter Snoblin now will try to push things along at 12 to go. About to get the bell, and our group in contention here is the riders coming out of turn 4. That's the front of the race, and the bell's ringing for the next sprint. 5 to lead the lap, 11 to go. McClinton moves himself up towards the front. He started this race in 5th in the Omnium. He currently is in 6th. Hasn't found points yet to keep his position safe. So he's trying to get that working now. As he leads the lap, Rackness will take that as an opportunity to sprint around the right-hand side. Still McClinton leading things out behind him. And Rackness on pace for the 5. McClinton for 3. Snoblin 2. Wilson 1. Our new official points totals, or unofficial, excuse me, points totals are Ben Rackness with 57, Jason Corbridge with second with 44. In third is Mike Darlene with 42. 2 riders with 36 is Kaiser and McClinton. Wilson's got 35. Snoblin with 31, and Hune Lee with 30, his original points. An official warning for Ben Rackness. Official warning for Ben Rackness for swinging up track after the sprint, an abrupt move up track. Again, that's one official warning for Rackness for an abrupt up track maneuver after the last sprint. Lap card showing 8 to go. Yep, that's a warning, Ben. 7 to go on that lap. Next bell will be incoming on this lap. And the bell, we got points coming out again. McClinton at the front. He found a few in that last sprint. He's going to try to keep moving up here again. Again, he was in the top 5. He got pushed out, and he's back in it again. So he wants to stay active, the rider in the white and red. He's currently still leading the sprint out. Snowblin starting to position himself. In comes Michael Darlene, also trying to find points in this one. Wilson coming up over the right-hand side. It'll be Darlene, Wilson, Kaiser, and I think McClinton unofficially. Ben Rackness still in the lead with 57, and second is Darlene with 47. Corbridge in third with 48. After that, I have 2 riders with 38 apiece. Is going to be Kaiser and Wilson. 37 points to Aiden McClinton, and 31 still for Snowblin. Those points and order are unofficial. Last sprint coming up. Our last sprint of the night, actually. This International Omnium night just about ready to come to a close. We've got our Cat 3 competitors. They're going to get the bell in a few laps here. That'll be for double points. Pretty close between 4th and 5th right now, and as we have 3 riders all within a point of each other. Kaiser and Wilson both with 38, and Aiden McClinton with 37. So that race for 4th place really close. The top 3, a little bit more separation. You got Ben Rackness with 57. It's 10 points behind him to get to Mike Darlene, who's sitting with 47, and 3 more points behind him for 3rd place is Corbridge with 44. So this last sprint could certainly change things up quite a bit, especially in the middle of that top finishing positions. Rackness, if he can get at least a point, will win the Omnium. This move off the front by Adam Leopold has been out here for a little bit. He's been trying to get away from this field. Good opening for him. This is to find his first points of the points race itself. And if he can hold on to this, it's going to be on his way for 10. The chasing pack's really starting to accelerate now as they know it's about to be go time. Our last lap, it's 1 to go. 1 to go. Leopold going all in for 10 points. Can he get there? That's Corbridge, our rider that's currently in 3rd place, the black and green at the front of the field, trying to chase down Leopold, and I think he's got enough speed that this field looks like they can catch. And coming into turn 3, it should be a lead change as it'll be Rackness coming over the top, trying to ensure his victory tonight. The junior on the move. Wilson takes the shorter way around the track, but it's still Rackness at the blue line, looking like he'll be able to get the 10 and the win in the Omnium. Wilson will find 6 more. Darlene will get 4 more, and Corbridge for 2. And our folks are putting their hands together for some great racing tonight. Thank you. As those riders make their way off in the back straight, that is the official end of the racing program tonight. We will be here for the next half an hour or so, hanging out, celebrating, have a nice time. Of course, the beverage garden is open. Of course, Jessica's Unique Bites is still serving food. Of course, the riders will still be here ready for autographs and saying good job to them if you'd like. They'll be hanging out on the infield here for a little bit, getting back into their street clothes and cooling down for a while. We thank you all so much for coming here to the park and enjoying some racing with us. We appreciate our fans and our locals that make the trip out here. Your support and presence is noted, and we are thankful for it. Thanks to our online viewers for checking in. We hope that you enjoyed the stream and might share this video once it's posted. Let people know that we got a good service going on online, and they can check in every week on Friday nights as long as we aren't doing any cancellations or anything weird. We will be back live tomorrow with our fun event to raise some money for the juniors. You can tune in at about noon. If you aren't able to make it here yourself, we'll be sharing that action again tomorrow for our Schools Out for Summer event, starting the stream up just before noon. Thank you so much for joining us again, and we look forward to seeing you for more racing here at the Jerry Baker Memorial Velodrome.